Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll walk you through the Midas project. I'll show you how to use both the Midas Telegram bot and the Midas web application. I'll explain how to farm points, and if you are interested in staking your assets, I'll show you the best option for doing so. Additionally, we will explore the Midas Discord, its investors, and its backers. And of course, this video can also serve as a Midas Airdrop guide. Let's dive in! I'm in the Midas Telegram bot, also known as a Midas Yielder app or Midas RWA bot. This is my first day streak, and I've earned 10 GM points and 1 tap. We need to check in every day to earn rewards and additional taps. Honestly, there is nothing new here if you are familiar with the Telegram play to earn bots. Click Continue. Here you can see the total amount of Midas GM points you have earned, as well as the number of available taps. Click Start Tapping and keep tapping on the stone to earn GM points. I've used 1 tap with 3 more left, and I've earned 16 GM points. Play again. If you don't have any taps, you can invite friends to get more or come back after 2 UTC the next day. Let's open the next Yielder page. This page is still coming soon. In the meantime, you can invite your friends and earn 20 GM points for each one. The last page is about completing various tasks. For example, there is a task where you need to check the Midas Twitter, click Start, return back, and wait a bit. Then click Claim. Sometimes the Midas Yielder app lags, so you might need to wait or click several times to claim your points. I've received 100 GM points. Let's check the On-Chain tab. Buy mTBILL or mBasis. I'll explain what these are a bit later. For now, you can complete this task by simply clicking on it and returning back. Once again, the task verification is loading. While waiting, we can check the Social tab. Join the Telegram channel, mute, return back to the Midas Telegram bot, claim 120 GM points. Let's see what is on the farming page. You need to complete a 2-day streak, earning 100 GM points. Strangely, I can't claim it even though I have earned more than 100. And use the Yielder, which isn't available yet. So, what about the mTBILL task? It's still processing? No problem, we can complete the Connect Wallet task in the meantime. Click Start. I'm not going to use the Telegram wallet, even though I need to connect a Ton wallet. Instead, I'm going to use the OKX wallet because I'll also be using it on the Midas web app, where connecting the Telegram wallet isn't possible. I'm not sure if this step is critical, but for me it makes sense to use the same wallet across all Midas products. Click Confirm. My Ton wallet is now connected. And I see 2 circling preloaders. Oh, 1 claim is available. Surprise, another one is 2. Claim 500 GM. Claim 1 more time. Plus 500 GM. Next, claim the Buy mTBILL task. That is plus 2500 points. Alright. We can move forward since there is nothing else interesting left to show here. What else can we do besides using the Telegram app on Midas? Let's open the Midas Discord. First, you need to pass the verification. In the Discord, you'll find a lot of useful information, such as announcement, rules, general chat, and more. Here you can type GM to check your current role. I have the verified role. Roles are quite important in almost any crypto project. Take a look here. There is a list of available roles you can obtain. Early Joiner. available to those who joined before January 1st, 2025. X follower, for those who follow Midas on X. I'll show you how to get this later. Hercules. Hold at least 10 mBases, mTBILL, or 0.001 mBTC, roughly equivalent to $10. Spartan. Hold $100. Achilles. Hold $1,000. Poseidon. Hold $10,000. Zeus. Hold $100,000. How to claim your role? Let's open the guild website. Sign in. Connect your wallet. I'm using the same OKX wallet that I used in the Midas Telegram bot. Click Verify Address. Confirm. I'm going to check if I can claim the early joiner role. Connect Discord. Authorize. Discord connected. As expected, I don't have access to this role. Next, we can claim the X follower role. Click Connect X here, Authorize App, redirecting back to the application, successfully connected X. Your access is being rechecked. I'll quickly verify if I'm following Midas on X. Yes, I am. I'll return to Guild and wait a bit for the data to synchronize. Now you can see I've gained access to the X follower role. After gaining access on Guild, you can open your Discord to check if the new role has been assigned to your account. To do this, find one of your messages in any channel and click on your icon. You can see that I now have the X follower role. Now it's time to work with the Midas website. Let's connect the wallet. I'm using the same OKX wallet as before. You can scroll and read some information about Midas, but I'd like to draw your attention to these investment strategies: mTBILL, mBases, and mBTC, each offering different APYs. I'm gonna select mTBILL and I'll explain why a bit later. No, let's check this out right now. Here is a well-written Midas documentation. You can read about their mission. We wanna make investing work like the internet, accessible, global, and permissionless. We are bringing institutional-grade assets to the open web, creating investment opportunities that are secure, compliant, and available to everyone. There is a lot of information here. I've read through everything before, but it's quite boring. What's important for us is the Midas team. You can find their team listed here, including 2 founders with links to their social networks. It's crucial that this information is public. This is a perfect example of how things should be, especially for other projects, such as Telegram games. In most of those, we have absolutely no idea who the backers are, or whether those backers might be scammers. Scroll down and you'll find the other key team members, along with descriptions of their roles and experience. Next, you'll see the Meet Our Investors section. Coinbase stands out as a Tier 1 investor here. You can read about all the Midas investors, their roles, and a brief description of each. Now I want to explain why I prefer mTBILL over mBases. mTBILL is Midas' flagship product, offering on-chain exposure to short-duration US Treasury bills, T-bills, one of the safest and most liquid assets available. With mTBILL, investors gain access to stable, dollar-denominated yields, combining the reliability of traditional finance with the flexibility and composability of DeFi. Next, I'll show you the possible risks and then compare mTBILL with mBases. By the way, let's talk about the mTBILL yield distribution. The price of mTBILL is updated daily to reflect the latest portfolio appraisal, including newly accrued interest, allowing investors to receive their mTBILL interest through an updated redemption value. Here is an example. In simple terms, Midas reinvests assets every day because they earn interest from T-bills. A T-bill, treasury bill, is a short-term US government debt obligation backed by the US Department of the Treasury. Since Midas earns interest daily, they reinvest it, which increases the value of their assets. As the value of these assets grows, the price of mTBILL changes accordingly. You can find an example in this table, where the price of mTBILL increases by 0.014% based on a 5% annual rate. If you don't understand something, feel free to write your questions in the comments below. Next, I'm gonna open the eligible collateral page. This is exactly what I was looking for. Key criteria for eligible collateral: US Treasury bills, the core asset backing mTBILL, known for their low risk and government backing, funds and ETFs, only those composed of US Treasury bills or equivalent, ensuring high liquidity and creditworthiness. That's why we earn only 4.5% APY when investing in mTBILL. The reason is simple: low risk, as they use US Treasury bills as collateral. One more thing to consider in the fees. I couldn't find details about the performance fee, but I checked how withdrawals work. During the withdrawal process, there is a 0.07% fee. It's an extremely low fee, so everything seems fine. Now we can compare mTBILL with mBasis. Midas Basis Trading Token mBasis is a permissionless yield-bearing token tracking a data-neutral basis trading strategy. You can find more information about this trading strategy, but I'm gonna find something about risks. As I remember, it was on the yield distribution page. Here it is. mBasis Risks: assets may be held with third-party custodians, and their insolvency, mismanagement, or security breaches could result in asset loss. The strategy utilizes stablecoins, which depends on the solvency and proper functioning of the issuing entities. Any regulatory actions or operational failures at stablecoins issuers could affect mBasis liquidity and redemption. mBasis relies on the basis trading strategy, which typically earns revenue from positive funding rates in future markets. However, during certain market conditions, negative funding rates may arise, requiring mBasis to pay rather than receive funding. And the liquidation risk. In volatile markets, there is a risk of position being liquidated if the value of collateral falls below a certain threshold. For mBasis, this may occur if market conditions move sharply against the basis trading positions. Despite the API here being nearly twice as high, I don't want to rely on a trading strategy that carries such risks. I feel more comfortable depending on US Treasury T-bills. And we haven't talked about mBTC tokens yet. I'm not planning to use BTC for staking on Midas, so I'll skip it. Let's return to the Midas website. I'm gonna input 1020 USDC to receive 1006 mTBILL tokens. Next, I'll click Approve and select Max to approve the full amount. Confirm the amount. Transactions on Base are extremely cheap. The network fee is less than 1 cent. Click Confirm. Processing the transaction. Now I'm gonna invest. This time the transaction fee is 2 cents. Click Confirm. Transaction submitted. You've successfully acquired 1006 mTBILL tokens. You can add this token to your wallet by simply clicking here. I already did this while testing Midas. Let me show you how it looks in the wallet. Here it is. Next, I can check guild again. Since I've bought 1000 mTBILL, I should now have access to the Achilles role. I need to refresh it and wait a bit for the recheck to complete. Yes, now I have access to this role. Besides guild roles, you can also mint guild pins. I want to demonstrate this process as well. Click Mint NFT. It costs 0.0004 ETH. Click Confirm. The transaction is processing. This NFT serves as proof of joining Midas, but it is not compulsory. It simply shows your support for the project. But we don't know for sure whether this will be taken into account for the Midas Airdrop or not. Let's open Discord to check if the Achilles role was assigned to my account. As you can see, it was. So, if you also like this project and want to invest your money, remember the risks involved. You are depositing your money with a third party, and that always carries risks. Midas has contract audits, but it's still important to keep this in mind. Additionally, there is the possibility of the token's price depegging. You might say this rarely happens, and I agree. However, I've personally experienced it before, so I feel it's important to warn you as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you found value in this video. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.